What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? This is CWC Radio. I was just talking shit. Hey, this is another episode of Cocktails. No, nigga, that is like WPRS AM radio.
CWC Radio NPR.
Yeah, like no, we're not doing that. But anyway, we got a special guest in the building. It is Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to this queen. We're gonna do this like in a 2-part section because we're gonna talk about some serious shit, and I don't want to intertwine the two. And we're going to talk about her organization, My Sister's Keeper. She is a CEO. I'm going to let her introduce herself, give any social media handles that she would like, tell us how we can find My Sister's Keeper and how we can support. And I'm going to give the mic right to you.
Hello, everyone. I am Coco. My Sister's Keeper came about in 2013.
Okay.
You can find us on Instagram, My Sister's Keeper DVO. On Facebook, same. My personal, Coco Chanel on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into our intro question. And it's going to start deep. I guess I should have shook my drink, huh? Yeah, shout out to Barbades.
Shout out to Barbades because you know you need to get that liquor all through the drink.
Mask or no mask, you gonna drink on the second part. I'm gonna let you know.
Also, I just absolutely love your locks.
Thank you.
They're so thick and beautiful.
Thank you. I do them myself, and I started them myself.
Oh wow. I'm in love with you.
Can you try to fuck her on the second episode? Damn, man, shit. So, look, let's get into the intro question. Have you ever committed domestic violence? We're going to start with Big Fist over here.
Oh, I got to see.
What? You pregnant?
No. Oh. I might grow some lemons.
Hey, to the question, man.
I am going to the question. So I will say yes, only because I have struck a man, but only in what I believe is an act of self-defense, just to get him out of my face and to get him away from me and to get him farther away from me because he was too close to me. I knew he was going to hit me or do something to me, so I shoved him and pushed him out of my way. And that ended up inciting a fight, which, yeah, that was a very violent relationship that I was in for a while, and I was young. Yeah. So
How young were you?
Yeah, I was 20.
Ooh, I thought you was about to say like 15 or some shit. That would have been wild.
I was 20. I was actually fresh out of a celibacy.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is maybe not being celibate, can help. No, all right, stay celibate. All right, cool. So what about you, Coco?
No, not just. I mean, not just to strike somebody, no, but
same with me.
Yeah.
Now, have you? And I guess let's go back to you, Alessa. Have you grown from the experience and into you not just committing, but having? Because I've been assaulted as well. But do you feel like you ladies have grown from the experience?
Yes, I mean, you. After the fact, you know how to pick up on red flags. Mm-hmm. You know what you don't want. Ways that they may have. You know, you can pick up on somebody that has controlling ways. Okay. Based off of conversations you may have had. Maybe you may have laughed it off, but he might, no, I don't want you to do that. You thinking it's a joke, and it's really not a joke. So some controlling ways. I mean, you know red flags. We just tend to
ignore them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember my situation was just so random. We were just at what's that laser tag place? We was playing Zap Zone, and it was like a 20-year-old date or whatever. And when she swung on me because I was laughing because she lost the game, I it was very random, and I was just like, oh, I'm never going to go through this shit again. This was, I guess from my standpoint, it was more so, it was in front of a whole bunch of people and strangers, so it was more so that it was embarrassing.
So she just hauled off and hit you?
She hauled off and hit me. Yes. Wow. I had to literally bear hug her to stop her from hitting me because she was embarrassed because we were making fun of her for losing the game. Wow. Like, it was so minuscule, like, the situation. And I was just like, damn.
How hard did she hit you? So this was like a playful...
No,
shove.
no. She punched. She cold cock punched me in my jaw.
Oh my
And she had
God.
rings on. She used to wear her mom's rings, so she had rings on. And it's kind of like every time I hear of a situation, I'm like, damn, it was just like that. Like that night, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. And she was just like doing all these extra things to, you know, try to appease me. And I'll never forget, like my best friend was like, hey man, I'm sorry, but if you want to hang, that's fine. But if blank is there, I'm not going. That was probably the most embarrassing shit. And now that I thought about it, the whole day she was doing weird, embarrassing shit the whole day. But no, I stopped talking to her. I never seriously dated her, or I actually never went out in public with her again after that.
Wow.
And I broke up with her. Like, it was like, that was it. And I mean, that's not everybody's situation.
It's not.
And it could get a lot worse than what had happened that night.
Definitely
And that's when I started thinking, because the warning signs, like you said, were always there. Like, she used to always do stuff. It just never got to that
point.
Yeah, like, I'd never been cold. Like, a grown-ass man has never even done to me what she did to me.
Kind of leads up to that. Like, it's a build-up. It builds up. You see things, and you be like, you know, no, yeah. And then she haul off and hit you. It started somewhere. It builds up to that, and then it goes further than that if you don't do something about it.
And the reason why I told that story is because I want to mention how my friend said what he said. And even though that's not always the best thing to say, my question is, how do friends handle situations like that when their friends are being assaulted physically, sexually, mentally, like anywhere?
It can be hard. It can be hard on the friend, because sometimes the friend can get like exhausted with trying to help you get out of that type of situation. Sometimes, you know, even venting to your friends, you vent to them about the same thing over and over again. They get old. They be like, okay, so what are you going to do? Like, you going to keep telling me about it? You going to do something about it? It can be.
I can see me definitely getting fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
At a certain point.
Yeah. But also, as a friend, if you are a true friend, even if you get annoyed, you still gonna, you know, be there for that person. Because in a domestic violence situation, once you give up on that friend, they feel like they don't have nobody, and they still stick with that person.
Now, what should somebody do? I got a story with this, unfortunately, but what should somebody do if they see domestic violence?
Call the police. I would never say get involved.
That's what I did, and my godbrother, who is a cop, specifically stated to me to never do that, because his reasoning was because she'll haul off and go and tell the cops you just randomly came up and did something to them. And because I seen a dude, I was at a red light, I seen a dude take the girl and bounce her head off the Family Dollar with the baby in the hand. And so I did a U-turn, and he ran down the street and everything, and I stayed with her, and the cops came or whatever. And when I told my godbrother, he was just like, no, that's not, I get what you want to do, but don't do that.
Well, you didn't necessarily like get out, like, dude, stop. That don't do. But
I did a lot more. We'll talk about it.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so yeah. So,
my little friend was with me and everything. So
yeah, because the thing with that is, let's say you do intervene. If he had something on him, then you be hurt. But she'll be back with him.
Oh, she wouldn't let the cops take her anywhere. She said she had nowhere else to go.
Yeah. He was coming back to get her. He was going to come back to get her.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And they had a child. It was
that's typically how it goes until that person is really ready to get out of that situation. Yes. They're going to keep going back, you know. In those type of relationships, the manipulation and the control be so deep and mental, you know, it is hard to get out of a domestic violence relationship. It can be very, very hard. I know myself, you know, right. So until that person is ready to get out of it, they're going to keep going back.
And what does My Sister's Keeper do to assist people with that?
We kind of like help with relocation. I have done some relocation to different states.
Damn,
that's great.
Yeah, with different women.
That's just so fucking wild that somebody has to
relocate
to a different state.
To a different state. And then sometimes, saw the movie enough, still sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah. That, we try to help with some legal services, help with getting into shelters. Some shelters be over capacity, but I have a little leeway where I can get around that a little bit. Just overall, you need somebody to talk to. I give out my personal number probably 80% of the time, or the business number. You can always call. I don't mind. You can text. You can be anonymous. You can email. You know, we're just there.
Okay. And I know this is more so like an interview style, but I mean, we have so many questions, so I really want to make sure that I'm asking all these questions so that the listeners can get all of this information. But how can men be more of an ally to women in these situations? Because I feel like in certain situations, men know that their friends do these things, but they don't say anything. And it's
that's what they need to do. Start speaking up.
Okay.
Like, you want to protect our women, whether it's your friend's woman or a niece or, you know, a sister. You want to protect them. Right. So speak up. Men don't really speak up a lot to their friends. They see what's going on. They laugh about it. They joke about it. Oh, he beat up, you know, he smacked the shit out of a girl the other day. But you sat there, you watched it, and you didn't pull him to the side. You didn't say that wasn't cool.
Let me see if I can find
or none of that.
And it shouldn't even be about, you know, what if that was your mom or your sister or your
just
niece? Like, that's
anybody.
That's anybody. That's a person.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want to see anybody weaker than somebody else just getting their ass handed to them and smacked around.
Let me read to you. I read this morning. Let me read to you what somebody said. All blank did was smack a bitch, and he got life. Well, he did beat the shit out of her, but damn. This is to a nigga being upset because of the amount of time that somebody got for domestic violence. And I felt like that was the most wild fucking statement. You said this on the World Wide Web.
Right.
You said this on the World Wide Web that somebody, I'm reading verbatim, beat the shit out of her, but damn. And personally knowing the story, I seen the woman's face in studio 2 weeks after it happened. I would have personally thought, if she didn't tell me, that it happened the night before.
Wow.
But her face was so fucked up that it was 2 weeks later. And I said...
And she was still healing.
How can you condone any of that? How can you even have that type of conversation? How can you actually fathom to type those words on your phone
and those
about
are people
somebody?
that you have to look out for. Those are warnings.
Yes,
and then they
definitely.
like, well, she hit him in the head, blah, blah, blah. Like,
it's always some type of justification.
2 weeks later, it looked like it happened the night before. I'm talking whole half of the face, two-face, like swollen, rock solid. So that means I think her jaw was broken, and all types of shit. But the point I'm making is, how can women look at us as allies when they also see niggas put shit like that? And I'm gonna keep saying it, but damn, he did beat the fuck out of her. But damn, like,
right?
What's the but? I don't get that.
Exactly. Like, what is the but?
There isn't one.
Do you think that people get this from the environments that they grow up in, or some people just
what
built with that shit?
It's something they may have grew up around. Typically, most people that are abusive, they watch their mom get abused, they watch their dad get abused, or they listen to the way their mom talked to dad. Oh, it's okay for me to talk to, him like this, or you have to be, I feel like 99% of the time, you've been around that type of environment in order to pick up on it.
So do you think abusers can stop abusing? Do you think that there is reform for abusers?
I think so. I've actually talked to 2 guys.
Okay.
But they had extensive therapy.
Okay.
Without the extensive therapy, he told me, he was like, I probably couldn't do it. I watched my mom get beat up by my dad all the time.
I would think that would make somebody not do the shit.
You would think so.
It's literally 2 levels of it. It's 2 extremes. So it's either I'm going to cater to my wife and I'm going to be the exact opposite of what I saw, or I'm going to use that to mold how I approach all of my relationships going forward. So it's literally 2 extremes to the spectrum, and those are usually the only 2 outcomes that you're gonna get from that.
Yeah.
That's just wild to me. And I get that every time I have these conversations is more so from the outside looking in. Like, I've never seen that night when I seen my man's bounce the woman's head against the wall, that was my first time ever seeing anything like that in my life. So, and I think I was 26, 27. So that being the case, somebody saying they went 26, 27 years without seeing some shit like that, that's rare, which is sad. So I'm technically in an anomaly. Did I say the word right?
Yes, you said enough.
Thank you. Fuck you. So, what? So, yeah, because you had some smart shit to say yesterday.
I didn't. Oh, probably.
But I appreciate you for coming on and like talking about these things because I feel like these are conversations that people are afraid to have.
Yes.
Period. And it is. It's hard for a lot of people because it's like they want to stay in the dark about it. Yeah. And as long as we're staying in the dark about it, nothing is going to change.
What do we do if our friends are doing those things? Like, how should we handle our friends? Do we just cut them off? Is it levels to it? Like, when we see level one, we do this. Like, what do you suggest that someone does?
I mean, if that's your friend and you see it and you know that it's happening, I mean, talk to that person. See if they're willing to get some help. You know, see if they're willing to go to therapy. It's needed, especially in the Black community. Everybody is looking down on therapy. It's definitely needed.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do we do do you suggest that somebody stays in a relationship with somebody to try it out, or do they, as soon as it happens,
it doesn't stop once it starts?
Okay.
So,
even with therapy?
If you're in a relationship, so I'm going to give you my own situation. I was in a relationship and it happened, and I said, let's go to therapy. You need to go to therapy because I know you've seen this happen with your mom and dad.
Right.
So this is okay for you. This is normal for you. This is not normal for me.
Right.
We tried therapy. He didn't stick to therapy. To him, it was like, no, this is pointless. So it doesn't work. It didn't work for him. He didn't stick with it. The person has to want to.
Right. They have to actually want the help and want to change.
That's the only way it's going to change.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Because I feel like I'm sounding off and I don't want to keep going.
No, I don't.
I want you like, damn, nigga, you ain't let me talk the whole episode.
No, I don't think so. So, do you think abuse, specifically sexual and physical, can contribute to someone's, oh, sorry, that's just moving on. I started moving on and not thinking about it.
Yep, yeah.
So, I do actually want to get... It's not. I do actually want to get a little bit more into your organization because what you said that you were in an abusive relationship. Is that what made you want to start this organization? Is that what brought this to the forefront?
What made me want to start is my sister was murdered by her boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, on her birthday. So that was my tipping point. Like, okay, this needs to be talked about. It happened to me. It happened to my mother, but I wasn't born at the time, and I didn't know. So it could be, I feel like a lot of the time it could be a cycle, you know. But what made me start it was my sister's death. When he ran her off the road, like on 96, ran her off the road. She didn't have on a seatbelt, so she went through the windshield. He even lied and said he didn't know who she was at the hospital. Like it was a random car accident.
Oh my goodness.
But he actually caused the car accident purposely. But yeah, on her birthday, it was a sad shame. But it took them probably almost 2 years to sentence him. So he got 60 years. He's not getting out.
It's crazy how the justice system works.
It
and
is.
The legal system works and how long it'll just take something with like even concrete physical evidence. Like it's just.
And it was evidence in her phone. He was, I'll kill you if you do this. You know, if you leave me, this, you know. And the crazy part about it is they had just broke up. That week, he called her apologizing. Oh, I got you gifts for your birthday. I'm sorry. I'm never going to do it again. Her last picture on Instagram right now is them two kissing. And the caption says, "This is the love of my life." And a week later, he killed her. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what made me say, okay, I need to start talking about this.
Right. Because something needs to change.
Something has to change.
Something needs to change, and it's not like there weren't other signs before that to other people around him showing the type of person
he had
that
a whole
was.
family on the side that. No, he had a wife, kids. Like, he was living 2 separate lives.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was wild. 2 separate lives, and we know she didn't know about the wife didn't know till we went to court, and the wife was in court in shock.
Was she in shock? Like
all
seeing
of this
the evidence and all of the things, because I'm sure there were witness testimonies. Yeah. I'm sure family came forward to testify either things that they'd seen or heard from her or messages that they were shown. That is and that also goes to show you how manipulative people can be.
And that's the number one sign.
It's crazy because she tried to get out of it.
Yeah,
exactly. She tried to leave, and it's like. When the abusers do something and they hit you and they know that you're done, you don't want to go anywhere, you're done, you don't want to talk to them anymore, they come back with those gifts. I want to do this for you, I want to do that for you. They want to get that inch back in
slowly, and they know how to do it
back in, because they know how to do it, because they know you.
Yeah,
because
they know your weakness.
Right, you've let them in already. And it's just I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you so much for all that you do and for all the women that you've helped, all the people that you've helped. Because there are not just male abusers. There are women abusers. Anyone can be an abuser. It's just all about the manipulation and the power that you try to take over someone else.
That's true. I wish more men kind of reached out, because men definitely get abused. I hear from them, but not as often that I would like, because they feel like they're weak for discussing it.
Right, they have to hide it.
I actually wish more men would just be allies. Like, I remember we went to what event was that? You have so many. I know we do Chili in the City. It was I know it was Purple Balloons.
Down at the Riverwalk.
Yeah, and everybody was telling
like
their
a
story.
vigil. I do a yearly vigil for all.
And it was it was me, Titus, and somebody else. But I know it was a couple other dudes there. But I want to say it was like 5 guys there, and then all women. But the stories that we heard, like, I remember we was in a car driving back, and it was just silent. Like, I didn't turn the radio on or nothing. It was just like, that was the wildest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, I wish somebody was there, like, recording it. Because this is some shit like that should be like a documentary. Because I feel like people don't, like, no, like, I'm not going to repeatedly watch the same slave movie over and over. Like, we all have seen slave movies. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, no, I don't want to see this type of thing over and over. Like, I don't see how people can watch the movie enough all the time.
Right.
But it's like sometimes you have to see and hear those things for it to truly resonate with you. That's the point I was getting at, because hearing those things, like your mom's story was so, like, I could probably tell her story verbatim from start to finish from that day. And it was like 5 years ago, because it was so crazy. Because it sounded like a movie. Like, I never heard anything like that, like, in reality. And it was just like, let me look this shit up. Then I looked shit up, like she said to do, like, and I'm like, oh shit, she was dead ass serious. Like, this is real. Like, this is so fucked up that I feel like it's like how Black community don't like to talk about the doctor, mental disabilities. Same thing with domestic violence.
It is.
And it's like this shit. We ain't got a rug in here, but it's all swept under that rug.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to, when I was driving in and thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Maybe we should split the episodes up, because I don't want to take away from what we this conversation. And the sad thing is, this episode's not going to get as many views on YouTube. It's not going to get as many plays on all our sites, because
it's a discussion
nobody
that needs
wants
to
hear that shit.
Exactly.
But they need to hear that shit.
Right.
Like, it's just, it is what it is. But we still have to have these conversations and get more people willing to talk about these things, because the more that we do this, hopefully the less that it happens.
The less that it happens, the more that people will pay attention, and the more women and men will understand what domestic violence is. Because it's not just a push. It's not just physical. It's mental. It's verbal. It's financial. You know, it's deep. And a lot of us just be like, oh, he hit me one time, or he slapped me one time, or he choked me, or he just pushed me. Well, that's it.
Right.
It's just like a fight.
It's not that, and that shouldn't just be. It was just this,
and that's the problem.
Because once it's just this, you're gonna you give an inch, they take a mile. That's it. They're gonna take it further every single time, a little bit each time,
and that's when it gets extent.
Once you get to that level, it could get so much worse from there. Mm-hmm. Like the worst that could possibly happen is what happened to your sister, and that's the saddest. And that's the saddest part, because there are so many women whose story we don't know, because we don't know what happened to them, and then there are so many women who we do know their story, and we saw the things leading up to it too.
And you hear a lot of people say, even in marriages, keep your relationship issues to yourself. No. Talk about those things with somebody.
I ain't saying tell Facebook
you need
talk to somebody.
You need some type of record. You need some type of record.
And see, even with him, we didn't know. She wasn't telling us. She wasn't talking to us. We didn't know that he was this type of person.
Oh, so y'all had no clue.
We had no clue. We had no clue. Now, she was in a relationship before where we did have a clue, where she came to us and we was helping her out the situation. But I guess the second time, she was like, I don't want to involve them this time. I'm going to keep it to myself this time. I mean, it was extremely stressful the first time, because he was busting out our car windows, showing up at our house with a can of gasoline, like, I'll burn the fucking house down.
Wow.
Like, it was crazy where...
Do you suggest women get guns or get self-defense classes?
Some type of self-defense class. That's what I really do need to look into that, since I'm back here now.
I got you. I already got it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Definitely self-defense class, get a license to carry, or even just have something in the house, even if you are not licensed to carry.
Because you don't have to be licensed to carry
to have it in the house. Mm-hmm.
I actually... That's like an initiative that somebody started on Twitter last year, and I was just like, this is a great idea. And I started buying women's CPL classes. Like, hey, if you promise me you'll get a gun, I'll pay for your CPL class.
That's dope.
And shout out to NECA, I forgot her last name, but she is a black woman. She teaches CPL classes to only women, not just CPL classes, but advanced gun carrying, because a lot of people, period, don't know anything about guns.
True.
But women at least admit it. Men just act like they know. Mm-hmm. But you got to become one with your gun. If you don't know how to shoot it, cock it back, aim it, it ain't going to help you.
Right.
It's just going to piss off whoever you's trying to shoot at. Mm-hmm. But I definitely believe and agree that women should get self-defense classes and also carry.
Yeah, make sure you give me your information.
Yeah, my fiance is a black belt, so she can teach self-defense classes.
See?
So, yeah.
I'm going to have to put her...
Yeah, we can all bring it full circle.
Village. Yeah. Yep. It takes a village for everything.
Yeah, so seriously, this has been a great episode. We're going to get into part 2. That episode, you could try to fuck Coco.
Perfect. Because I am interested.
Wow, this is wild. I am...
Yeah, it's silly.
Let's just end this episode, man. Shit. I think JG went to get our guest, so we're just going to have him end it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we'll just have
Actually, Trav, can you what button to press? No.
No.
He looked at his camera.
The camera said, I don't.